like I said, I'm gonna teach y'all everything I know. As long as I know that somebody's listening and actually taking action, I don't mind sharing everything I know because I feel so fortunate to have learned this stuff, man. I feel like I owe it to. I want. It's gonna bring me joy to see somebody else do what I did. You know what I'm saying? Like to be able to change their life and I really, like finances have a lot to do with our life, man. You guys have a heart to want to help people, so you need money to do that. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, like I said, that's one reason why I wanted to charge $40 because I've done this before. Like I've done it before, and I've charged people more than more than that. But I've done it for free too. Like not as much. Where I sit there and I talk to people in their living room or my house. They're like, "Oh, how do I learn? How do I learn, man? Teach me, teach me." And I teach them, and then they don't do nothing with it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I wonder if I would have charged them, they would have actually done something with it. So, anyways, I already explained that to y'all. And we can go ahead and get started. So, Jeremy, did you have any comments or questions about last week?
Nah, see, I'm good, bro.
Okay, all right, cool. And the
Yeah,
only reason I was telling you last week to mute yours is because it was some other people talking in the background and stuff. So you don't have to mute it
yeah.
now unless you just want to. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, it was a little noise and stuff over
Okay,
here. I didn't want it. Yeah.
okay, all right, cool. So, all right, here we go. But I want to congratulate y'all, man, for investing in yourself, bro. A lot of everybody gonna do that. $40 might not be a whole lot of money, but it's money though. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got people don't have
Yeah,
money just to be wasting. You know what I'm saying? So you made a sacrifice and you invested in yourself. You already have separated yourself from 90-something% of people. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to congratulate y'all on that. And so another reminder, man. Did anybody get those books last week? I know, Jeremy, you said you're already reading the book. So, what?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I just want to stay
The
on
book?
y'all about that because, man, I'm telling you, those books are gonna be very helpful to you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And plus, it's 99¢. One of them's free, and the other one's 99¢. So we ain't got no excuse on that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
Hey, is that a pen over there?
do what now?
Oh, my bad.
Oh no,
Pen.
you good? I thought you was talking to me. Okay, so um, anyways, I'm gonna give y'all another little disclaimer, and then we'll move on. The problem I've had with people I've tried to mentor in the past, they think, oh, I paid him to help me, or he said he was gonna mentor me, and then they just magically think it's gonna fall in their lap. I know that sounds ridiculous, and you probably thinking, oh, Steve, you ain't gotta tell me that. I already know, but for some reason, people think that their success is my responsibility just because they paid me some money, and it's just not the case. I am going to give you the directions, but you got to get in the car. You got to put the gas. You got to fix the flat. You got to obey the speed limits and avoid the wrecks. You know what I mean? And in other words, you got to be the one to take the action. You know what I mean? Like you got to do the work. And there is definitely this is not a quick, easy way to success. Like there's a lot of work involved. But if you do the work now, later on in the long term, it'll be where you can hit relax mode. I was always taught, one of my mentors taught me. That guy on YouTube that does them videos with the Ferraris in his garage and them books, and he got them little glasses he be wearing. But anyways, I paid for his class. I took his class online, and one of the things he teaches that is entrepreneurship or building a business is like climbing a mountain. It's really hard work when you first get started. It's really steep, but then by the time you get to the top, you can ski down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if most people don't make it to the top, but if you can make it up there, then you can ski down. It gets a little bit easier in the long term, the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
but anyways, so I just say that to you to say you have to take action. Like, and the challenging thing is you got a job, you guys work, and you probably work. If I'm not mistaken, you guys are working it sounds like a type of job that got you working a lot of hours, and then you probably come home, you ain't got a lot of energy left or whatever. I'm just assuming. But if that's the case, then, you still have to sacrifice certain things to find time to be able to do the work involved, because just taking the class is only going to get you head knowledge, but it's not going to get you results if you don't take the action, right? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and every single day, man, I make a list and I've got 5 to 10 different things that I'm doing my best to get done that are going to get me closer to my goals, right? I'm trying to call at least 5 to 10 owners of properties every day. So every week, I'm almost talking to 100 different people on the phone. That might sound like a lot, but in sales, it's really not. Because if I want to find one good deal, if I want to find treasure, I got to do some digging. I got to dig through a lot of dirt, right? So I'll give y'all the map, though. I'm going to give you the map, and on your first couple deals, I'll be your tour guide. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to take you through the jungle. I'm going to give you the warnings. I'm going to tell you to watch out for this. I'm going to tell you this is what you need to bring with you, and this is what you need to do. But at the same time, I ain't going to carry you. Which I don't think that y'all expect that. I'm just giving y'all that disclaimer because of my past experiences, right? So, anyways, with all that being said, I'm going to give you guys tasks to complete throughout the week. And I'm going to say, I need y'all to do this and that. Or I want y'all to do this and this. Because, hey, if you do it, this is going to benefit you. And even the things that might sound crazy or don't make sense or don't seem significant, I expect y'all to do your best within reason to try to get those things done, because if not, then I'm gonna be like, we can't go to the next level. Why should I keep giving y'all resources? Why do I keep giving y'all I can't trust you with an opportunity unless you did right with the first one, right? You see what I'm saying? So at a certain point, if you never know what opportunity is in front of you or who is testing you, right? And so, like, if you guys do good and you're faithful with this, then I might say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna offer you a job, or I'm gonna offer you a partnership position in my company. I want you to be the same. Like, you never know. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? So, anyways, all I'm saying is I'm gonna give y'all some things to do throughout the week, and I want you to at least acknowledge it when you get the message. Just a thumbs up as soon as you see it or whatever, and say, okay, I got it. Then like, hey. I'll get around to it, or just shoot thumbs up just to let me know you got the message. Okay. All right. So, anyways, all right. So I got a question for y'all. All right. Based on our last class or the last talk that we had, do you remember what it is we're looking for? Like, we talked about a certain type of thing that we're looking for, right? We talked about we're not really necessarily looking for a property, but we're looking for a
motivated seller.
Motivated seller. Yeah. So a situation, what's called, a motivated seller. So I'm gonna write that down because, that's really important for y'all. And sometimes when we look at it, it just helps us to remember. Motivated seller. Okay. So we got to figure out. I know my handwriting kind of messed up, but we got to figure out where they're at and what they look like, how to recognize them. And so that's kind of what we're going to talk about tonight. We're not necessarily in the real estate business, y'all. We are in the marketing business, but we just so happen to be marketing for real estate, right? So, yeah, we're investing and we're in the real estate, but I think it's more important right now to focus on the marketing side. Because if you can get real good at marketing to people who are motivated sellers and getting them to come to you or finding where they are, then you're going to make some money in real estate, right? So I think the best skill you can have right now is being a good marketer, right? Somebody who knows how to market. And so that's really what we're going to be putting a lot of emphasis on. So anyways, where we at? So, okay, so there's like 5 things I want to talk about tonight. If you're able to take notes, that'd be great. If not, like I said, I'm gonna record this and in case that we need it. So, let's see. All right, so I'll give you a second if you want to try to grab a pen or something.
We ready?
Okay, all right, bet. So this is one thing. The first thing is not necessarily the best thing. These ain't in no specific order, right? But one thing that I'm gonna mention is one thing that you can use to find these deals. See, it's even better than you having to find these deals. Is these deals coming looking for you, right? So how do you do that? If you can advertise right, you put some good ads out, then these people start calling you instead of you having to go look for them, right? And if they're calling you, then they're likely to be a little more motivated than if you're calling them, right? Does that make sense? Yeah. I called the dude today. We still calling people, but I called the dude today. He's like, well, you called me. You made me an offer. He kind of had an attitude about it. Well, does he sound motivated? Nah, not really. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going to make him an offer. I'm just going to throw it out there because 3 months later, he might end up being motivated, right? Mm-hmm. But anyways, so here's so one thing is a bandit sign. Is what it's called. It's called a bandit sign. It's really, you see those signs. They don't have a lot of them in Jacksonville, but you see them a lot in Tyler, and they say we buy houses, right?
Yeah, I see them a lot in Tyler.
Yeah, so they're everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Everywhere in Tyler, dang near everywhere you look, you see those signs say we buy houses. Guess what? Those people don't buy houses. They do what I'm teaching y'all. They do wholesaling. They get you to sign the agreement, and then they got these buyers that they're building their list of investors who do have the money to buy properties, who do invest in real estate. And once they get you to sign that agreement, then they market that property to those investors, and they make a little bit of money. And I don't know if I gave y'all this example last week or not, but look, it is the same thing I did. Like the same thing people do when they hustling. Like let's say, it may not be the best example ever, but like it's something that I know. So like, if I was broke and somebody called me and they wanted a pound of weed and I didn't have no pound of weed, I didn't just hang up on them. I said, well, all right, I know the plug, and they don't. So give me a ride. You can't go inside, but I'll get it for you. And I'm gonna charge them the 4, but I'm gonna get it for the 3. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? It's just really just the same thing as a middleman. I might even take a little bit out the bag if it's fat, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, it's the same thing with the real. I'm doing the exact same thing. I find the deal, so I know the plug. I know where the good deals are, right? And so I'm playing matchmaker. I take them to the house, but you can't talk to the plug because you don't know them. You know what I'm saying? I got an agreement with the plug, the homeowner, and I'll take you there, and you can buy this house from me because I'm going to be the one going inside and bringing your money inside, and I'll come back out, see what I'm saying, with the product, mm-hmm. But I'm going to take a little bit, I'm going to charge a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's the concept. It's that simple, right? There's more to it, mm-hmm. But that's the general concept, right? So, anyways, all right. So that's bandit signs is one way you find them. You can, and that don't have to cost you a lot of money, and you may not have to cost you nothing. Like you get you some signs. Like you might have to pay for some signs. That isn't necessarily a free way to advertise. You do got to buy the signs, and you got to get some. If you don't got the best handwriting like me, you got to get somebody to write on there with a decent handwriting that say we buy houses. All it's got to say is we buy houses and your phone number. But look, here's the catch. You can't put your phone number on there, right? I know I said your phone number, but you got to get either a trap phone or a Google Voice number. And I can show you how to get a Google. It's not hard. You got a Gmail. Like there, you can get a Google Voice number for free. But the reason why you can't do that is because it's technically illegal. Like you can get it. You ain't gonna go to jail. You can get a ticket for it. Right? If you do it in the city limits, you put them signs out and you leave them out. If the city wants to, most of the time they don't trip, but if they want to trip, they can give you a ticket for it, right? But a lot of people do it anyways, and they ain't tripping, but they don't put their phone number. They put they use a Google Voice number. Most people do use a but I think you could probably get away with, getting a trap phone and doing it with a trap phone. That way you got a separate phone. This is for business. When you answer it, like to say, hey, to use your professional voice, right? Yeah. So it may not be a bad idea to use a trap phone because I don't think it's not in your name. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So That's what that is. That's bandit signs. And all you got to put on there is we buy houses. You put it in heavily trafficked areas, right? Like, like at the stoplight. You see them elsewhere. You see where they put them. They put them at intersections, And so that's a simple way. A free way you can do it. I can send y'all some, or you can find one online, or you can create one on your phone. And you can put ads on Facebook and all them groups on your personal page, and you can put ads on Craigslist that say we buy houses. And there's on Craigslist, there's already a lot of people putting them on there, so maybe you have to find a way to set yourself apart, make yourself different. I can probably help you with your ad if you want to send it to me and say, like, Steve, what you think about this? But essentially, all we're marketing, our message is we buy houses. That's really our message. We ain't got to complicate it, right? You can go into depth and you can talk about I buy houses that need work. We buy ugly houses. Hey, this and that. You can do that if you want to, but really all you got to say is we buy houses. We're serious. Give us a call, and put your number on there, or put that Google Voice number. On Facebook and on Craigslist, you can put your number on there, right? So, but that's a free way for you to advertise. And you want to get as many, don't just put one or two out, man, and expect to get a call. Like, it's more than that. Like, I don't know if y'all are familiar with, like, sales or not, but, like, I live in a subdivision, and there people come by here knocking on the door trying to sell stuff sometimes, right? Well, I'm thinking they have to knock on every door and every house in this whole neighborhood just to probably make one sale, right? So with marketing, the same thing. Like, we can't just put out one ad or two signs and think, oh yeah, I'm gonna get a call now. It don't work that way. Like, you have to get a lot of people looking at your advertisement before, when you're fishing, you ain't gonna always just cast and catch something off the rip. Like, sometimes you gotta get creative. Sometimes you gotta try a different spot. Sometimes you try a different bait. Sometimes you gotta wait for a little while. Yeah. Right. So that's what we're talking about with marketing. I also recommend that you guys create a Facebook business page, and get a real nice, most presentable picture. You know what I'm saying? And and then create a Facebook business page. Create a business name. You don't have to go to the Rusk and get a DBA. You ain't got to do all that. Just get come up with your business name. It might be T Buys Houses, or it might be Chappelle Property Buyers. Whatever it is, create a Facebook business name, because when you start marketing to these people, they're gonna want to look you up online to see if they think you're legit. And if you can create a professional page, then it gives you a little bit of credibility, right? Because they already trying to figure out, do they trust you? Like, that's how they do me. All the time they say, well, we already looked you up online. Most of the time they look up your personal page, man. To be honest with you, they done that to me a lot, but it worked out. It works out in my favor, because if they're like a Christian or something, then they're like, oh, well, we trust you. You know what I'm saying? Some people who ain't Christian might like, we don't trust you, but I mean, so I'm just telling you, they're gonna look you up. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. So. Okay, so another thing you can do, y'all, that I did this today, and I got in touch with an owner today of abandoned property. You can download the app. It's called Driving for Dollars.
It's called what?
Driving for Dollars. Driving for Dollars. And it's $20 a month, but it's worth it, because you can pull up to any abandoned house and you can drop your pin. It works like a GPS. You can be just riding anywhere looking for abandoned house. You see one and you press down on where it is, and then you reload it, and then all of a sudden it'll tell you who owns that property, what's their new address, and sometimes it'll give you their phone number. And you can, if it doesn't give you their phone number, you can send them a letter to their new address and say, hey, I'm interested in your house. We noticed that it's been sitting here and ain't nobody living in it. We just want to know if you want to sell it. If so, give me a call. and then and if it gives you their phone number, then call their phone number. Sometimes now it's giving you their emails too, so you can even email them. And I've gotten deals using this app, you know. So it's $20 a month, but man, it's worth it, man. It really is.
Yeah.
Because you can literally just pull up, drop a pin, and it'll tell you who owns that house, tell you what their new address is, tell you what their email and their phone number is sometimes. So, like, it's totally worth it. But if you don't want to pay $20 a month, you can do it the hard way, which it's not really hard, but it just takes a little more time. You can look them up, and I got a tutorial on how to do this too. You can look them up online and find out who owns their house and what their new address is and send them a letter. So you don't have to buy this app. You don't have to pay. It's just convenient. You know what I'm saying? When I first got started, I didn't use this app. I didn't have this app. I just looked them up online, right?
Yeah.
It does take a little time, though, to look them up online. So, but anyways, so that's another thing you can do, that Driving for Dollars app. I like it. It's worth it. It's convenient, and you can hit blocks. Some people like to drive and get out on Saturdays or Sundays. You can go and hit some blocks, and you can look for abandoned houses. People really like to do that because it's kind of fun just driving around. People like to do that. So you go looking for abandoned houses, and you know, you just because you find one don't mean it's gonna be a deal. You might have to find 10. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a numbers game. You gotta go through a lot of numbers before you get a deal, right? So I might look at 100 houses, bro, before I get a deal. But that's just, I'm willing to do it because I know it's worth it, you know?
Yeah, it's worth it,
Yeah. So let's see. We talked about bandit signs, online ads, like I said, Craigslist, Facebook. Join all the groups you can. Some of the groups won't allow you to post it in there, and some of them will. Just figure out which ones will, and try to post in all of them. If they kick you out the group, they kick you out the group, right? But just at least try, you know?
Yeah.
Let's see. Create that business page on Facebook. Create your business name. You're gonna need that business name, and it needs to say something about buying houses. And then also you can just do like old school networking, man. Just call realtors, say, hey, I'm working with some investors. We're looking to buy discounted properties. We're looking to buy fixer-uppers. If you come across anything, give me a call and we'll take it off your hands. Okay? Like, that's all you got to say to them. And you start calling, you start networking with people, you start rubbing shoulders with people, and somebody will call you, man. Somebody will hit you. For long, somebody's gonna hit you up. For long, you're gonna find a deal. But you kind of got to do a little bit of networking, and you got to do a little bit of advertising. So our message is, it's not complicated. Once again, what's our message? We buy houses. And I know that's the same message as everybody else that's doing it, but ain't no use in trying to recreate the wheel and make it complicated, y'all. It's real simple. If people ask you, what are you doing? Oh, what's that? I see you created a business page. Oh, what you got going on? What y'all doing? We buy houses, right?
Yeah.
And if they say, how you going to buy a house? Say I'm working with some investors, and I'm the one that helps them find the properties. That's all you got to say. Okay?
Yeah.
And so let's see. That's our message, though. We buy houses. And you got to get that message to as many people as you can, right? In order to increase your chances of getting a deal quicker. Okay? You probably been thinking, like, so what do I say to these people when they call me? I'm going to give you a script. I'm going to give you the script. I'm going to send that to you when we get off the phone. And you guys can, you guys will know what to say when they call, okay? And if you don't know it all, if they ask you a question you don't know, don't worry. It's okay to say, hey, listen, I'll have to get back with you on that. Let me talk to my boss or something like that, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Okay. So from what we talked about so far, you guys got any questions?
None so far.
Okay.
I
So
was going to ask you about the script.
okay, cool. Yeah. So I was going to see Facebook Messenger's not allowing me to share my screen, I don't think. Yeah. So I was going to share my screen on my laptop and show y'all the script and go over it. But we'll have to, here's what we're going to have to do is next time we do a call, we need to use like a different app. They got an app called Zoom. If y'all download the Zoom app, we'll use that. And that way I can share my screen and it'll be a little bit better. I think we lost Jeremy. Okay, there he goes. All right, so next time we'll use Zoom, and Zoom will let me share my screen, and it'll be a little bit better. But I've got a bunch of tutorials I'm going to send y'all. I got videos that I've done on how to fill out the contract and all that kind of stuff. But just remember, like, I'm here to help y'all. Like, it's not like if you find a deal, you can hit me up, say, Steve, I think I might have found a deal. What you think? Hey, this lady wants me to call her back. You want to do a 3-way call, and I'll do it. Okay? So, like I said, I'm going to be your tour guide. Like, on your I'll hold your hand. I ain't gonna carry you, but I'll hold your hand through at least your first couple deals, you know. And then I might say, hey, split the deal with me, and that'll probably be because I'm gonna probably be the one helping you find a buyer for it anyway, right? So, but anyways, business cards. Look, business cards and flyers, bro. You know what I did when I opened my clothing store? I already had people that knew me for selling clothes out of my trunk, but you know all I did for marketing, bro, was old-fashioned flyers and put them at the gas station, just like they do when somebody coming to town for the club. They put all the flyers at the gas station. Man, it ain't gonna cost a whole lot to print some flyers out. It ain't gotta be professional like super fancy flyers. You can get somebody you know with a printer, or you can like really, you can get business cards. Like it's not that much. Sometimes you can find somebody that works at a job that'll print stuff for you for free. I'll be open to paying for the flyers and stuff if y'all are willing to actually put them out, or maybe we go half. That way, we all in on it together. But like we can put the flyers out at gas stations, and if you get your own business cards, it's about $30. You can get 500 business cards, man. And you get you some business cards, you put a little stack at every gas station, every little place that it's a lot of traffic coming. And eventually, you do all those little things, bro. Like, because my goal for y'all is to get your first deal done and paid within these 3 months. If we don't get you a deal between 3 months, you're probably going to be like, man, I don't know if this stuff working, right? And if we don't, and we should get you a deal within 3. If you do all the work that I'm telling you, like, you should get your first deal and be paid with it. Because it takes sometimes about 4 weeks before you get paid. After you find a deal and you find a buyer and we turn it all into the title company, it takes a little time for them to transfer the title and cut you a check, okay? So my hope is that both of you guys and DeMarcus as well, if he gets in with us, then everybody got their first deal. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to take marketing. It's going to have to put different baits. You see a real fisherman. The dude that we was at the beach 2 weeks ago, and those real fishermen that they determined to catch something, what they do, they put 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different rods in the water, don't they? You ever seen somebody do that? They got all these different fishing poles, and they got 2 or 3 of them in the water at the same time. That's the kind of stuff we got to do. If y'all want to get your deal and you want to get paid quick, when I need y'all to put some numerous advertisements out. Yeah. Okay? And man, look, you're gonna come across people who are skeptical of you, who are hating on you, or however. Man, that's just part of it. Anytime you start a new business, people gonna always be skeptical, and they're gonna be some naysayers. They're gonna be some, especially on Facebook, you got strangers that are always gonna have something negative to say. Oh, what is this? This guy ain't for real, or this is a scam. Like, you always going to have that, bro. I got that. I still got that. But I keep pushing. Not everybody's going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I don't need everybody to believe in me. I don't need everybody to like my property. Just one person got to like it enough to buy it. Only takes one person to buy it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, everybody don't have to sell you their property. You just need one good person. Hey, you get one good deal a month, you'll be all right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and I'm going to teach y'all how, when you get the deal, to negotiate it in such a way that you might could buy it. You know what I'm saying? That way you ain't always dependent on somebody. You find somebody else to buy it. You might, like I was telling y'all on my first deal, I bought it. I talked the lady into doing such low payments, I could afford it. This house I'm living in, I moved right in. Now, I knew the lady. But heck, you guys know some people who need to sell their house. And eventually you start advertising even on your own Facebook page, bro. There's going to be people that you know that are going to want to trust you with their property. Mm-hmm. But it takes a little bit of them. Some people are going to be skeptical at first, and they're going to watch you from a distance. And when you stay consistent with it and you stay professional about how you present yourself and your business, there's going to be some people that somebody's eventually going to say, okay, you know what? Hey, Jeremy, I got a house I need to sell. Yeah. Hey, T, man, we just inherited this house, bro, and we don't know what to do with it. We owe taxes. My mama owed taxes on it before she died. She passed away. It needs some work, and it's been sitting there. You know how many people going through that, bro? Like, people really die. Like, every day people dying, and guess what? A lot of them had a house. Yeah. And they got to do something with it. And like I said, we're not going to take advantage of them. We're not trying to capitalize on their misfortune. We're going to step in and we're going to offer a solution. Mm-hmm. And we're going to help them out. We're going to serve their need. And so the people who do the best and make the most money are the people who look at how can I solve a problem in today's society? How can I serve other people's needs and not about how can I make all the money? We know we need money, but the people who solve the problems are the ones who make the money. Because their focus is on not even making the money as much as it is solving the problem. But when their focus is on solving the problems and they get so good at solving the problem, then people pay them more because they solve bigger. The bigger the problem you can solve, the more money you're going to make. Mm-hmm. And so the more complicated the house situations are that I can solve, the more money I can make off of it. Or the more money I'm going to make in this business. Because everybody else couldn't solve it. I bought a house in Winona. Heck, I never really even been to Winona like that. But the lady called me, and she had these other dudes who got these We Buy Houses signed. She called them. They came and got a signed agreement with her. They couldn't sell it. They couldn't do nothing with it. She called me, and I knew how to solve her problem. So I bought the house. I bought it from her. She only wanted $3,000 down. Well, by this time, I got a little bit of money put up. I said, look, I know how to solve your problem. You want $30,000 for this house. There's only one way I'm going to pay you $30,000 for this house, man. Because it's a little bitty house, almost like a mobile home. It's not really worth a lot more than $30,000. So the investors didn't want to buy it, right? I said, there is one way I'd be willing to buy this property. She's like, I ain't taking no less than $29,000. I'm like, okay, well, I tell you, I was thinking, man, I need this for 20. If she wants somebody to buy it, like an investor to buy it, it needs to be like 20. That's kind of that would leave me a little room to make some money. Like I said, as a middleman and keep it moving. But she was adamant. She's one of them ladies who was like, all right, if I can't give me 29, then I can't sell it. So I said, look, there's one way I can give you 29 for this house, but there's only one way. I said, if you want to know, I'll be glad to share it with you. I'll give you 29, but you got to take $2,000 down. Well, it's like really like $2,900, so it's really like $3,000. $3,000 down, $250 a month, 0% interest. And because anytime you buy a house, you got like 5 or 6% interest, and sometimes more than that. And when it's all said and done, just like when you financing a car, when it's all said and done, you really didn't pay $10,000 for that car because you had to pay interest too. You really paid more like 15. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So with the same thing with a house, like when it's all said and done, you're really paying a lot more for that house. But I say if you do it for 0% interest, then I can give you anyways, I know how to solve a problem, so I got the reward. These other guys couldn't get it because they wasn't smart enough to, they weren't thinking, how do I solve this problem? They were thinking, how do I make a quick buck? But I still made the quick buck, but I was thinking about how do I solve the problem? See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's all inventors are. People who invent stuff, all they do is they just solve the problem. Mm-hmm. Instead of complaining like everybody else, they was like, hey, I'm going to figure out a way to solve this problem. Right? So one of the houses I bought this year, the lady was like, we got all this junk in this house. And they had a lot of stuff. And she was like, I want to sell this house, but I'm really worried about how am I going to get rid of all this stuff. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll rent a U-Haul. If you give me this house for this amount, I'll rent a U-Haul, and I'll get one of my guys to help you move to Shreveport. She'll move to Shreveport. And any stuff that's left over, you can leave it here. We'll get rid of it for you. Oh, man. So my offer was so much more appealing to her than everybody else's offer that wanted. Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, so when you get creative about solving people's problems, it makes you, and listening to people, man, listen to what they say. That's why on the script, the first question is, do you mind me asking why you're selling? Really, y'all, all you need to know at this point, if you talk to somebody tomorrow, if you just bump into somebody who's trying to sell their house, you say, hey, why are you selling? Do you mind me asking why you're selling this house? And then boom, that's going to tell you almost everything you need to know up front to decide if they're motivated or not.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? If they say something like, well, I really ain't got to sell. Well, if I can't get full price for it, if I don't get what I want, then I'm just going to keep it. Do they sound motivated? No. But somebody who says, well, my husband got in a motorcycle accident. This house been sitting here for 2 years. It needs a lot of work. I'm about to move out of this neighborhood and blah, blah, blah. Then she sounds like somebody we might want to look further into.
Yeah.
Right? So I feel like I'm going to give y'all the script, and I might send y'all some more tutorials as well. But I want to see, like, I ask you again, anything else, like, about this that you got questions on as far as what we just talked about?
So, do you do a lot of, majority of your deals come from the Tyler area?
No, I'm open to anywhere. See, so that's what I'm willing to do more work than the next man to make it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll drive 2 hours. I done drove 7 hours, actually 14 hours round trip to go look at a property before. You know what I'm saying? Now, usually I prefer it to be in Tyler or Jacksonville. Like, because I know more people there, right? But I'm open to, generally, in the most part, it's like within 2 hour radius of Tyler, right? So all the way down a little bit past Rusk. When you're talking about south, we're talking about east. I done been as far as almost to Shreveport. We talk about west all the way up to like maybe Terrell. North, I done all the way up to Texarkana. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't have to be in Tyler. You know? Sometimes these little towns is how we beat the competition. We're willing to go way out these little towns. When you go to bigger cities, that's when you get the competition. So here in Tyler, you see all those bandit signs. I'm fighting a lot of competition, right?
That's what I was about to ask. A lot of competition.
Yeah, so if I go to Gilmer, or if we go to Jacksonville, or we go to Rusk, ain't hardly no competition. Or especially like somewhere like, Gallatin or, like Bullard or something like that. There's people that buy, but like them little towns it's not a lot of competition. So you're likely to be the only person, their only hope for selling it. So they're going to be more likely to negotiate, you know? And you talked about you want to buy your own house. So, like,
man, that's what I was looking into that, man. But I wanted to ask you about that too. Like, I don't know if I should hop into it right now or what, man. Because my credit not too good. My credit not too good right now. I really gotta get credit, you know. I mean, I think I can afford it if I find the right house. You know, I can afford it, but.
Well, credit. A lot of people start. Like don't never allow your credit or like into America they teach us, oh, you gotta have good credit or you gotta have a degree. You ain't gotta have that stuff, bro. Like they just want you to. It's good. I mean, I guess it can't hurt to have that stuff, but like, bro, when I got started, I ain't had none of that. I still ain't got no degree. Like, I don't really see a whole lot of use for it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. For some people, they need it. It helps, but what I do, I don't need it. I don't even need a license. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't have to have it. Like, it might help, but I don't feel like I need it. So even with the credit, bro, like, build your credit, but like that don't mean you can't buy a house, bro. Like, I've never bought a house using a bank, like a bank loan. Like, I bought all the houses I bought like owner finance. They don't check your credit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to jump through all those hurdles. You ain't got to prove your income and use two years of tax returns to the bank and all that kind of stuff. You ain't got to deal with that, bro.
So
You know what I'm saying?
when you say owner finance, is that like rent to own?
That's what most people call it, but it's not really. It's the same, but it's technically it's different. Rent to own is like you're renting that house, and then one day you have an option to buy it when you
Okay,
get your
yeah, I
credit
got
But owner finance is like I give you a down payment. It's gonna be more than the. Remember I said it's more. Remember I said you want like 5 to 10 grand down. That's bigger than a deposit, right? A
you.
deposit is like 500 to 1,000. Owner finance, you're putting the actual down payment, like so it's a bigger lump sum up front, but you actually are the owner of that house, and
Yeah.
and the
Okay.
payments that you make go towards paying it off. You know, so
Okay, I got
it's called owner finance. Sometimes I'll refer to it by just saying seller finance or just making payments on it. Like sometimes if you use that word with the seller, it'll kind of scare them. So I just say, hey, would you be open to doing payments on it?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
a lot of times they'll say no, and every once in a while somebody say, maybe we might consider that. And then
Yeah.
boom.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm talking to a lady today, man. I'm trying to talk her into it. She got a house here in Thailand, and she's been trying to sell it for like a year. And I let her, she was asking too much, so I said, all right, let me go let her try to sell it and then come back to reality. And then she's going to come back to me, and she's going to realize I was right. That it's not worth all that money she's trying to ask for. Now, guess what? A year later, she came back to me. Everything I told her was true. All the people she's been dealing with just kicking tire kickers. And now she's ready to make a deal. You know, and I'm like, look,
Yeah.
let's talk about it. I'm trying to get her to take like 2 grand down for this big house. I already got a renter in it. You know what I mean? So like, it's they're out there, but it's just a matter of you got to put that marketing out there. And if you want to find them, you got to do the work. You know, like today, like I've literally called. I drove around. I looked at houses. I done climbed through windows. Well, I didn't. I was supposed to climb through the window on this one house. I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. But I've done that before, but not today. But like, I done been not breaking in. Like I had permission, you know. But like I've been doing
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
work. Like I've been out and about. I've been making calls. I've been looking people up. I've been I've been on scrolling through Facebook Marketplace. I've been looking on Craigslist. I've been doing that all day. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
and today I might have found something. I did that all day yesterday. And sometimes it's frustrating when you don't find it, but if you know in your heart, you say, I'm not gonna give up, bro. You know how some people they got that kind of fight in them. They got that kind kind of
Yeah.
athlete that they don't give up, bro. Like that's the kind of I
Mm-hmm.
think God gave that to us. You got that too. T got that too. And if you use that, and bro, like with this business, but also use it in a way that not only am I going to do the hard work, but I'm also going to be smart about it too. So I'm always going to
Oh
find
yeah.
ways to educate myself and learn how to do what I do better. You know what I'm saying? So a little bit of
Yeah.
balance of the hard work, but getting smarter about it too. You know,
Yeah.
so it's like you
Yeah.
learning better fishing holes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, you can buy your own house, bro. I would say to you, like, I don't know your whole situation, so I would have to know more about, like, okay, now you know you might have been wondering, well, dang, Steve, you told me 5 to 10 thousand down. That's just most cases. Like, you might can find somebody, like I said, I've been telling you, I've been finding people. This lady let me move right in with no money down,
Yeah.
right? And I bought one for 3,000 down. Bought my first one for 1,000 down. So they're out there, but it's almost like once a year. And I'm looking, and I'm straight up like going like crackhead mode trying to find it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
like I'm not saying they're not out there. You can find them, but like in reality, like depending on how fast you want to find one, it's better to have like 5 or 10 stacked up so you can get something decent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So you think that is way better than renting?
well, not always. Not it depends, bro.
Yeah.
Because like if you get, let's say you get 5 or 10 saved up, you might be better off renting the house you live in, and then you could buy a rent house,
Oh
rent it
yeah.
out, and let that
Mm-hmm.
pay for the house you live that you're renting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or so like that's that option right there, and then there's also the other option of you could buy a house, owner finance that you live in, and you can fix it up and then sell it when it's ready to sell, and then you're gonna have to move and do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that for some years, you know. Mm-hmm. So now I'm at the point where I'm thinking like, I think I'm doing it still actually. Like I'm gonna flip this house I'm living in, you know, and I'm fixing it up while I live in it. But eventually I'll probably go to the point where I rent a little bit and then keep the money. Instead of having to put a down payment when I move, I just put a little deposit and I got some extra money to buy another rent house.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like when I get a little bit older and I say, okay, I'm ready to go ahead and settle down, and I'll probably buy some with some land and stay put for a little while. Mm-hmm. Right now I'm still on like stack mode, you know.
Yeah.
But that's that, and but you can do it, bro. Like you can do it. You can buy a house right now. You can, even if you don't have that big down payment, like it's about also your negotiation skills, you know, like I'm gonna teach, like that's one thing I'm really good at. So I'm gonna teach that to y'all, bro. And that script, it walks you through it, bro. It'll really help you. If it'll help you. And there's and then I'll get on the phone with you and talk to these people. Like if you really feel like you got a motivated seller, I just don't want you just to send me every deal you find. Like at least find out why they're selling it and make sure it's worth us looking into. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you find one you think it's worth looking into, I don't mind calling them with you. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm taking it seriously. I want you guys to succeed, you know?
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. And then, let's see. There was something else I wanted to tell you. There's going to be other little stuff that you can do, you guys can do that may not necessarily be just real estate pertaining to real estate, but it will help you get in position, you know, financially, you know. Like one thing with your credit, like if you're trying to build your credit, I didn't even know this. My mama showed me this. You can go on these websites and you can comment. It's really called a dispute. You can dispute anybody who like gave you a negative mark on your credit, and you can dispute it. Even if you say something like, "Oh man, I don't know." Even if it's like not even a legit excuse. Like sometimes I did that, and it upped my credit score like 100 points.
Oh yeah.
I only did it once, and that thing, just doing that, bro, it knocked my score up there, bro. For real, yeah. So so now I've got good credit, and so I can go to the bank and buy a house, but I haven't. You know what I'm saying? And I really, eventually I might, but I'm just saying like. There's little things you can do. And so even now if you don't go to the bank to buy a house, you can go to the bank and get a line of credit. And once you get your credit up, they'll give you a line of credit for 10 grand or 20 grand. And if you find a cheap house that's in the hood, you say, I want to buy this for 20 grand. You go to the bank and you got a line of credit. Because you got your credit up. And you can buy.
Line of credit. Explain that.
It's just them letting you borrow money.
Oh, okay. Exactly.
Giving you a loan, and you can do whatever you want with it. It don't have to be for a house. It's not a home loan. It's a line of credit. You can just do whatever you want with it. But I recommend don't touch it unless you're going to put it into real estate or something. I don't trust a whole lot of other investments, bro. To be honest with you, bro, like everything, I'm not going to say everything else is bad, but like, I'm scared. I'm personally scared to put my money in anything. Like I tried the bullies out. I was like, let me try these dogs, man. I like these dogs. You know, there's some money in these dogs. Shoot, man, them dogs kicked my butt, bro. 3 years later, I was stressed out. I done had to fight people to get my dog back. They done stole my dog. I had to pay people to get him back. He done got out of my yard. I done tried to breed him, and he didn't want to breed. I done took him back and forth to the vet, trying to get them to breed. I done spent $2,000 on this dog and all this stuff, man. And I ain't make no. And then 3 years later, I finally made some money. But by then, it was like it wasn't even worth it, bro. It took me so long. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, my perspective on investing money in the stuff, bro, I'm probably gonna stick with real estate. Real estate has been forever the #1 fastest and safest way to wealth in America, bro.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Like you can live like people build well. Almost everybody who's wealthy in America at least owns like not just like they at least own some investment property. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a
Yeah.
good place to put your money, bro. Because think about it, they're not making no more land. So the
Mm-hmm.
value of real estate sometimes it takes a little dip, but it's always going up. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying?
Yep.
Because the population is growing, but they ain't making no more land. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a good investment. I can't really speak on everything else, but like there is like any questions you got about finances. Period. If you think about it throughout the week, or what, man, you can ask me because God blessed me with some wisdom when it comes to finances. So I live below my means. I told my buddy today, I'm surprised he ain't never heard this before, but I said, look, don't buy one of them if you can't afford three.
Yeah.
Warren Buffett said that. Some people be trying to say Jay-Z made it up, but no, Warren Buffett's the one that said that.
Yeah.
He's like, he used to be the richest man in the world. But don't buy one. And that's something I should wish I would have known when I was younger. Because you think if you got enough money, you can afford it. But no, like, don't buy one if you can't afford to buy three. Because you need
Yeah.
extra money put up to the side.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes I was always trying to buy something that was going to impress people. And then I had to start all the way over. Especially with
Yeah.
cars, bro. Like cars are not an investment, bro. Like they lose value as soon as you buy it, bro. Like off the rip, like it
I
just.
lose that.
I never made no money off no car, bro. Some people
Yeah.
do, but man, maybe if I knew how to work on them, but
Yeah. I see it a lot, bro.
do what?
I said I see it a lot with the
Yeah,
car situation.
yeah,
Yeah, they start me that shit. A lot of those things. I've
yeah,
never been in a really car person, man.
yeah. I mean that's good, man. And I say that I just bought me a nice car, but I can actually afford it now. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, yeah, that's what I was about to say. You can afford it. Yeah,
yeah.
you good.
And every once in a while, it's okay to reward yourself. I mean, I've been working for years. Like I might do something nice for myself once every 2 years. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta event after a while. You gotta reward yourself. So I figure my car
Exactly.
broke down. I figure I would buy me something. But yeah, I mean, still, being smart. Like I could be living in a really nice neighborhood now, but I decide like no, I ain't trying to spend all my money. I want to have some money saved up. I want to have some money. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
always fighting that pressure to want to like impress everybody. It's a real
Yeah,
challenge
bro.
for me. That may not be a struggle that y'all deal with, but that's been a challenge for me.
Oh
If,
no,
if I'm being
yeah.
honest. All right, I'm gonna let you go, bro. If you think of any other questions, hit me up. Let me know. I'm here, and then I recorded this too, so I'm gonna send this to T. And then, like I said, if you talk to him and he wants to get in, I recorded this also so that he wouldn't be behind. You know what I'm saying? Because
Okay.
he asked me for
Okay.
my Cash App early today, so hopefully he does want to get in. If not, no hard feelings. But if so, I got this recorded. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right,
Hey,
bro.
appreciate you, Steve.
Hey, no problem. Like I said, if you get, don't let me forget to send you the script. If you get any questions, then hit me up. All
Sounds
right.
good, man.
All right. Take care, bro.
Man.
All right. Okay, let's turn this off.